hard to handle. Swimming in to number 10 in the countdown is the hagfish. Divers keep their distance because this is one animal you don't want to touch. Its disgusting defense is why it's also called the slimy or the snotty. Simply annoy a hagfish, and in seconds it can turn seawater into a bucket full of goo. When stressed, the hagfish releases hydrated pathogens from about 150 slime glands scattered along the length of its body. On contact with water, the pathogens explode and almost instantly cover the fish in glue. Some humans have a simpler way of covering their body in slime. Welcome to the annual mud race in the English town of Malta. All you have to do is race across the Blackwater River and back again, in the middle of winter. According to legend, the race began when a regular of the local pub was challenged to serve a meal on the opposite riverbank dressed in a tuxedo. Today, the competitors race to raise money for charity. And while a hot shower will eventually get rid of mud, it's not so easy to shift the hagfish's slimy coating. In addition to mucus, the slime contains very thin, incredibly strong fibers. Any predator attacking a hagfish would soon find itself being strangled by a slimy noose. It's such an effective defense that scientists call the goo the bulletproof vest of the slime world. However, as our countdown continues, we'll meet other slime balls that use their sticky secretions for far more than just defense. Sometimes you can find slime on the walls of a cave, cunningly disguised as 11,000-year-old works of art. Back then, the world was still gripped by an ice age, yet human artists were capable of grinding up pigments and mixing colors with a secret ingredient, their spit. Researchers believe that the ancient artists made a kind of spray paint using charcoal and saliva. Our next contender is another artist found in caves. Only this animal uses spit to create not paintings, but sculptures. Flying in to number 9 in the countdown is the cave swiftlet. These birds nest far from predators high on the roof of a cavern. The trouble is, on these smooth walls, there's nowhere to put a normal nest of twigs or leaves. So instead, the swiftlet builds a white cup using nothing but spit. During the breeding season, the bird's salivary glands enlarge so that it can produce copious amounts of spit. The slime hardens in contact with air, so the bird works fast with its beak, weaving the saliva strand into the mesh of the nest. It's a precarious perch for the bird's precious eggs, so it's no wonder that some species even use a little saliva to glue the eggs to the nest. Even with two parents dribbling full time, it can take more than a month to complete the nest. However, it's worth the effort to keep their chicks far from the reach of predators. go to extraordinary lengths to get into a swiftlet's bed of slime. All it takes is a little careful cleaning to turn a nest of dry spit into a delicacy. The swiflet's careful creation is the main ingredient in bird's nest soup. It's so highly sought after that 1 pound of this caviar of the East can cost more than $1,000. And that's why in Malaysia, some people are investing in a business that's strictly for the birds. These urban buildings may look deserted, but a speaker system is broadcasting advertisements for a most unusual tenant. This is a hotel for swiftlets. These artificial caves in the middle of the city are becoming very popular. In just 3 years, the number of urban nesting sites has increased from 150 to over 2,000. It's luxury accommodation complete with a stereo system and running water for air conditioning. And at the end of the bird's stay, the landlord gets to collect the nest. It's a whole lot easier to scrape saliva from a ceiling than off the roof of a cave that can be 35 stories above the ground. How would you like to stand on top of a rickety bamboo scaffold just to get your hands on some swiftlet saliva? And while it's much easier to collect slime from animals coming up in the countdown, nobody wants to eat it.
While our first 2 slime balls found interesting uses for their mucus, scientists have discovered that the goop from our next contender works really well when spread on your skin. And later, we'll discover that humans are not the only ones to use slime on their spiky hairstyles.
Mm-hmm.